Greetings. My name is Dr. Waddell Brooks, Sr., your host, and this is Community Focus. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an outstanding person with us this morning. He is a person that you should know. Gregery Willams. He's retired from the Shallow Baptist Church, Waukegan, Illinois, where the pastor is Wallstone Francis. Located 800 South Genesee Street in Waukegan, Illinois. Good morning, Deacon Willams.
Yes, good morning.
We're very happy that you've taken time literally from your busy schedule to come down to the studio to share with us information about your outstanding career. Ladies and gentlemen, Deacon Gregery Willams has an outstanding career in marketing, and he has a great religious background, and we just felt that he is a person that you should know. Deacon Willams, you want to tell us a little bit about your personal and professional background?
Yes, I'm a member of the Shiloh Baptist Church family.
Okay.
I was born in Southern Illinois, just this side of Carroll, Illinois, in a town called Harrisburg.
Oh, yes.
And as a youth, I lived there, and we moved to Elgin, Illinois, which is just west of Chicago. I went to high school there, and when I finished high school, I got an opportunity to come to Waukegan.
Mm-hmm.
And except for a few short years, I've been in Waukegan ever since.
Deacon Willams, you have an outstanding marketing career. You want to tell us about the field of marketing and, along with us, grant writing?
Yes, the firm offered business planning, business management.
Mm-hmm.
We help startup businesses to get funding. We were you were saying,
well, marketing and grant writing.
With grant writing, we did business consulting, accounting, referrals like to lawyers and architects and various businesses, and help them to get off the ground. And for businesses that were already established and wanted to expand, we help with the expansion and offering business plans, marketing plans, and various business services.
Now, what piqued your interest to get in marketing?
Well, when I first started my career, I worked during high school, and after I finished there and moved to Waukegan, I went to College of Lake County.
Okay.
And prepared me to get into the marketing business.
Mm-hmm. How important it is for strategic planning for businesses?
Yes, you need to have a roadmap. You need to have direction. When you choose an occupation or a business to start, you have to put together a plan for opening the business, getting it financed, get it up and running, and help them throughout their business, the length of their business. And also to work with the city of Waukegan, Lake County, and we worked with clients from along the North Shore all the way up to Wisconsin. And you need to have direction and guidance, and that's where we come in, and had a small staff. There were 7 of us, and we put together a business that ran almost 30 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, it's my understanding that if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail, right?
Yeah, if you don't have a roadmap, if you don't have notes and look at what it's going to take to get the business up and running and get a projected budget, to do the proper planning before they open the doors, and then to help them throughout the length of their business, or if they're sold or taken over by a larger company. Then they usually have an in-house marketing department. This is for businesses and the general public. You need a business plan or a marketing plan. It could run anywhere from 5 pages to 20 or 30 pages. But we take the time to take the steps to be successful.
This is very enlightening, because we have so many people state, I want to go into business. I want to be able to work for myself and not for other people. But it's more. It's my understanding that you teach them the first steps. First of all, they have to know what type of business they want to go into, right?
Yes, you need to know. You need to have an understanding of what the business has to offer. Nothing happens until something is sold. The selling process goes from an offer to acceptance. But you need to have not only direction where you want to go, but to take the proper steps to go through the city, or whether it be city of Waukegan or the county of Lake. They ask you for business licenses. Also, you have to have the fire department, police department. Everybody has to be involved in the business, and it's simply a matter of utilizing. There's only a couple of business consultancies in Lake County or in Waukegan to go before the mayor and the planning department, and then having. Working with businesses that do to provide capital and financing, but you have to take the steps to go through the city to open it up. If you're in North Chicago, you need to see the business development department. But you need a coach. Just like Michael Jordan, he was a force to be reckoned with on the court, but he had a manager, and he had a coach. That helped him in his career to be successful and financially stable.
Deacon Williams, I mentioned grant writing because you mentioned all the steps you have to take, but you have to have financing, and grant writing is so important, right? There are millions of dollars available through the federal government, and state government, so forth, and local too, But if you don't have a person to write grant to get the money, then you are certain to fail. And you're in the field of grant writing too?
Yes, we provided grant writing services. The business, the company needs a business plan.
Okay.
That tells your goals and objectives. Put together a tentative budget, then do some research in the area. See how many competitors you have in the same area. You don't want to move next door to people on each side that are in the same business that you're in, because you're fighting over every dollar.
So location is very important.
Location is very important. And you need to have a business plan to go with the marketing plan. But this tells you who your customers and your clients are. And as a business owner yourself, Dr. Brooks, you have to have good, talented writers, proofreaders, doing the proper research, working with the Census Bureau, and determine who the customers and clients will be and what their needs are.
Yeah, planning is so important. We went to the Small Business Administration, but we had to take a plan down there with us. And in addition to that plan, we had to see counselors. I think that's the SCORE counselors there, and with
senior retired executives
to SBA. So actually, a youngster coming out of high school. It's very important that he or she would see a person like you to give them guidance, right? So,
and you mentioned the Small Business Association at the College of Lake County in the Tech Center.
Oh yeah,
they have a business development professional, and they provide a business resources for whatever that business needs, from buyers to sellers to people that are going to be your client base. But you need to have a plan. Without a plan, you're just shooting from the hip, and it takes forever to be profitable. You want to project the business from the ground up, or to expand the business, or to outsource the business or franchise the business. You have to know. You have to sit down and put pencil to paper and to organize. And it's so important to plan. If you don't plan, then the business undoubtedly won't be successful. But there are the Small Business Association and the Senior Corps of Retired Executives. They are a resource to business. There's also the Lake County Chamber of Commerce, the Black Chamber of Commerce, also whether it be in North Chicago, Waukegan, or Zion. And we've been successful. We've worked with area professionals and the banks in the area. We have a relationship with the business community.
In other words, you may have a vision of what you want to do or what God has given you to do, but you still have to have planning. You have the vision, but you have to develop that vision on pencil and paper.
Yeah,
right?
You need to do the proper resource, the appropriate research, and you have to have an ideal. And when you say, well, what kind of business do I want to go in?
Right.
You want to choose a business that you have a passion for. Okay. You have to know something of either somewhere where you've worked or somewhere you've studied in school, or the family businesses might be available to you. Somebody passed a business, or you buy a business. You need to sit down and to plan it out, and then have a timeline on how you want to accomplish it and what the goals are, and get you a website built. There's website builders. You can get them. You can the resources at the College of Lake County. They do have guidebooks and handbooks and manuals in their arsenal, and they also help you with the funding. But you have to get permission from the city. You can't just swing your doors open. You've got to go through different channels. You have to get the permission from the mayor and the council, come before the people, and do the proper workup. Let people know when you're going to open up, your location, and a little bit about your business, and having the proper signage and marquee. But it's to be able to take and have a workable plan and then revise that as the business grows.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, we're talking with Deacon Gregery Willams from the Shiloh Baptist Church, Waukegan, Illinois. And we've been talking about how to get started in business, the planning, the marketing, the grant writing, and so forth. So if you want to contact him, do you have a phone number they can contact you?
Yes, my number is 224-645-3100. And that's the business line. But you want to get the word out. You want to advertise in local periodicals. You got sign companies. You have realtors that can show you different locations that are zoned for business. And then to have a coach, somebody that can help you through and be a guide and a mentor.
And you would be one of those coaches, right?
Yes. I am semi-retired. I'm not really actively running the business at this time. But I do have clients that I still provide services to, and be able to help others too. But I do remember, and I do have the list of people to refer you to, and I don't mind helping out a woman-owned business, a minority-owned business, somebody to use the Lake County Chamber, the Chamber of Commerce. You know, the vendors and the suppliers, the competitors, these are resources to you, and they will give you a forum to build your business with. Whether you become one of the friends of people that are in the commerce already, but they can tell you about. They will help guide you through the process, and we all work together as a team. And we come alongside the business of the person that's going to open the business, and simply be there to be able to provide assistance and mentoring.
Deacon Williams, you mentioned about your retirement, but you've been working in the field, you mentioned, over 32 years?
Yes. One thing I didn't mention that's very important, and that's prayer.
Okay.
You need to pray. You need to seek the guidance of those in the prayer community. Somebody that'll be there, and if you approach the Lord, He will give you the tools and the resources and bring people to you, so that you're able to be able to seek the Lord's guidance, and your business will prosper if you come to Him in prayer.
The successful people that I've had on Community Focus and also on Community Forum always give God credit, give God the glory. Otherwise, you cannot be successful unless you're led by God.
That's so true. The bed will be a whole lot softer if you sit down and take the proper steps to cover yourself, and also to get help from others.
Deacon Williams, you've also mentioned about your high interest in church leadership. You've taken that leadership by becoming a deacon. You're a Sunday school teacher. You worked on the church's usher board before you became a deacon. So you've been active in the church leadership for many years, right?
Well, I started attending services at the Shiloh Church. It was the first church that I visited when I moved here. That's coming down Sheridan Road, and I saw the Shiloh Baptist Church. I said, well, I'll stop in and attend services there one day, and stayed with it. I started learning about how to have a relationship with the Lord. And the church community can also pray with you. And there's a lot of resources within the church, other business owners, ad books to the various churches. And I became a member of the usher board in 1996.
Okay. And
I went through teachers training with the church. I was on the door one day at the usher board, and head of the deacon board came over and approached me and asked me if I would like to join the deacon board. And I said yes, and went through 2 years of training, and then I was ordained on October 23rd, 2013. And I went before the church and became ordained, and I've been on the deacon board since then. And I still usher. I still teach Sunday school and on security and safety at our church. So I wouldn't necessarily call myself a leader, but just to do what the Lord has for us to do.
But we'll leave a servant.
To be a servant and to be a helpful member, be part of the body, because there will be people in the church that will be able to help you in your spiritual walk as well as your business.
Now, I mentioned leadership because I was looking at your is that your son, a son or son-in-law that's been trained as a deacon?
Well, my son-in-law, he's a deacon in training at the Shiloh Church, and he sings in the choir. But he's been with the in the automotive industry for many years.
Okay,
and also there's when it comes to stepping up to what God has asked you to do, He won't call you to an assignment unless He walks with you.
Okay.
And makes the journey it takes away a lot of the sorrow and the grief that we have.
And I know you're excited about your daughter too, and Daisy and I are excited because then she graduated from Tots and Toddlers Daycare Center.
Yeah, she was in your program for 2.5 years.
And I noticed that she's an attorney now. Huh?
She's an accomplished attorney. She also was a instructor at the College of Lake County.
Okay.
She has her own private practice.
Wow.
And she does business law. She also works with the church budget and the mortgages. She helped us with the expansion when the Shiloh Church expanded. Mm-hmm. She negotiated with the banks, and she does wills, estates, business plans. Sometimes she refers people to me, and I refer people to her.
Okay.
But she's an up-and-coming young professional here in Waukegan, and it all started with the Tots and Toddlers, which equipped her to start school a year or two in advance, so she was able to get her academics together.
That's fantastic, and we take pride in her too. We keep track of her. Matter of fact, when she in California for a while.
Yeah, when she graduated from law school, she went to Los Angeles. And she worked with the Universal Studios. Oh, she worked with the contracts that the companies that needed the resources, they needed legal help. Mm-hmm. But she stayed out there for a couple of years, and she came back. And she worked for one of the leading attorneys in downtown Waukegan. Oh. And she carried 40% of their caseload. Wow. Appearing in court and working with other attorneys. She's grown in her business, and now she's also focusing on raising her daughter, my grandbaby. Okay. So I'm just thankful that she got the good foundation through Tots and Toddlers, mm-hmm. and she's been a student and a scholar ever since she was in high school.
Well, back to leadership. Now your wife has been a great asset in your life also, right? Isn't she retired too?
My daughter, yeah, she's. My daughter, she was a member of Shiloh Church. We got married in the Shiloh Church in 1975, and we have a son and a daughter. My son's a professional actor in theater, and so we're thankful for both of our children.
What about your wife?
Well, my wife, yeah,
we can't forget her.
Yeah, we dated for several years, then we got married, and 2 years later we had our daughter. Okay. And then 9 years later we had a son, and he's in California now pursuing his acting and professional theater. Wow. So, yeah, my kids make me proud, and they hold me accountable. So I'm thankful for our children.
You know, always. You remind me of there are three people in the world. There's people that make things happen, and there's some that wonder. No, they make things happen. Then I got three. They let me get this. They watch. Yeah, there's another group. The second group watch things happen, and then the third group wonder what happened.
Yes.
So I put you in the category of making things happen.
Yes, and I have to give credit to the other people that have worked with me. I had people that were writing grants, and that was their sole responsibilities. Had a CPA that did the accounting and the financials for the business plans and marketing plans. Then we had a computer and technology area professional. So I had people that were helping with the typing and the administrative responsibilities. So I'm thankful for those that have worked with me, and I never had to fire anybody, and nobody's ever gotten mad and left. So I'm just thankful. And I think that comes from having a relationship with the Lord and dealing with business principles like the book of Proverbs.
Right. Gregory Deneen Williams. I would like to say that you are leaving a legacy.
Yeah, I'm leaving a legacy. My children won't take over the business, but I have some of my partners that are assuming the major working of the business to people that have worked with me, even though I've stepped back. I mean, I'm retired, taking it easy day to day, but also helping the clients that were long-term clients and still use our business to help with their business.
Where there is no vision, people perish. I think you find that in Proverbs 29:18.
You're absolutely correct.
You have
even in Proverbs 3, where we talk about a father to his son. And the book of Proverbs is the book of business in the Bible, the New King James Version. But if you look back and do a timeline, sometime when you reach a certain age, it's time to step back and help others in their walk.
Well, we can always say it's all that we do is about Jesus. It's not about us, right?
Not about us. It's about earning a living providing enough to keep the family going and to keep some of the bills paid and to be a role model and mentors for others.
We're only here for a short time, 70 and years can be added, if we...
They gave Hezekiah 15 more years, so I'm just glad to be here.
Because once we leave here, it's eternity, and we're trying to convince people to think about this. They don't think about eternity. That's forever and ever. There's no second chance then.
Yeah, I would say, well, when you perish or when you transition or when you pass on, there'll be others to pick up the legacy and to remember things to remember you by. Mm-hmm. But you need to have a relationship with the Lord. It makes life so much easier and helps us to be helpful to others.
The epitaph on your tombstone will read, date of birth dash date of death. It's only what you do in that dash what counts as far as the Lord is concerned, right?
That's right, and it's better, when you sit in the service, no matter which church you go to, that you have a relationship with the Lord, because you're able through prayer and supplication and being with others that'll come alongside and be a role model for others.
And that's key that you mentioned, having a relationship
with Jesus. Right? Yes. And when time meets eternity, that's what happens when we leave here. And then when your spirit leaves the body, he says, as the Lord say, it is finished. He's going home to the Father, and he intercedes for us each day before the Father.
That's a key point. We may end on that, too, by being Jesus is the mediator. He's between us and God.
Yes, he is. And he intercedes for us each day before the Father and he cleans us up every day and gives us hope. And then to be there, you wonder what legacy you'll lead and what you did while you were alive. But as the pastor says, you don't know when the time or date that you leave this world. Mm-hmm. But when we die, there's only two doors. One to heaven, the other one is to hell. And
after hell, there's a lake of fire.
The lake of fire, which is eternal. Okay. Not for a day, but forever. The spirit is tormented.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody who could save anybody. Thank you very much, Deacon Williams, and we will see you in part 2 maybe in the future.
Yes, I'd be happy to come back again, but I'm thankful for today. And remember that only what you do for God
Yesterday is gone. Today is a gift. Tomorrow may never be. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Community Focus. My name is Dr. Waddell Brooks Sr., your host.